All right, as promised, today is going to be a really nice, short, simple lesson covering these little entities or settings that kind of, help us out in little ways, but they don't, create massive assignments in themselves. So these are things that you would do to your map to kind of correct problems throughout the map as we're creating it. So this week and part of next week, which is finals week, we're going to be spending the time preparing your DLC map or your whatever you want to consider your main game that you've been hopefully working on daily as we've had time, because we're going to be turning those in at the end of this week. Yeah, it's at the end of this week because I want them before finals so I can take a look at them. So this week, Monday through Friday, we're going to be looking at just little things. And so today we're going to be doing a little lighting correction that you may or may not have noticed, but you're going to run into this at some point in your game development. You're going to run into this issue, and it's common in a lot of different engines, and it has to do with the way the lighting is calculated on objects. And if you look at my screen here, what you're going to see is that there are two pipes sticking out of the wall. The upper pipe is completely black. The lower pipe is lit, based on the lighting of this basement area. And you can see it's completely dark. I mean, you can barely make out the little rivets on the end here. Whereas the pipe underneath it is definitely receiving light from this area here. But for some reason, this top pipe is not. So let's look at the editor here. There we go. All right, so if we go into the editor, we're going to see here's the light. Here's the two pipes. They're the exact same prop. They're both prop static. The problem with them is the way I have them positioned, their origin point is actually in this area here, which is a dark part of the map. It's actually inside the wall. If I were to look in the two-dimensional view here we go. So if I select this pipe, its center point is this little X right here. I don't know if you guys can make it out or not, but and it's basically inside the wall here between the two rooms. And believe it or not, this room is purely for lighting effect. So, but anyway, so what we've got here is this pipe. Its origin point is inside the wall, and it's in a dark area. It's like right here, which is inside this wall. So by default, with static lighting and everything, these objects receive their lighting based on their origin point. And it's normally the center of the object, and that's how it kind of calculates how the object is going to be lit from the area around it. The problem arises when we have an object that, part of it's lit and part of it's not. And that's exactly what we have here is this pipe is the part of it that is the origin point is in a dark part of the map. So the pipe that sticks out is calculated as not receiving light. So let's look back at the game again now that you understand that. All right, so now take a look at this again, and you can kind of see what's happening is this pipe, its origin point is about 2 inches inside of this wall, and it's dark inside there. So this pipe is receiving no light. Now for some reason this one is, and I'll show you why. So there's an entity right here, and it's called an info light. Okay, info lighting. So if we grab that guy and we click it, it creates this little target light bulb icon. So what this allows us to do is designate a different spot for a prop to sample its lighting from. So if we go back to our other one, let me get rid of this one I just created. All right, so you can see I've got one right here sitting underneath this light. And it's called info lighting, and all you have to do is give it a name. So I named it pipe lighting, okay? So now let's look at this bottom pipe. So it's a prop static, but if we look down here, there's a menu option or a value here called lighting origin. And what this does is it has the object receive lighting information from somewhere else rather than its default origin point. So what I did is I said lighting origin, and I selected pipe lighting from the drop-down menu. So that is this guy right here. Now, all it's going to do is it's going to pretend that this pipe is in this location to receive its lighting. So we could put that anywhere we wanted to, and it could be in an entirely different part of the map. I've seen maps where they'll have like a room and they'll have like a green light shining on an info lighting, and then they'll have an object receive lighting from that. And that object will get green lighting. While everything else in the map does not, that object will get green lighting. And so, so these allow us to adjust where an object gets its lighting from. So if we look at this pipe, its lighting origin is blank. So it's trying to receive light from a point inside the wall. So it's dark. So if we take this pipe here and we say lighting origin, and I scroll down to that pipe lighting, this one here, click apply. All right, so now this pipe is going to receive lighting from this guy right here. So whatever light this object is receiving, it's going to pass that information to this guy here. So let's recompile this map, and we should have both of the pipes lit now. Okay, let's reload the map. And let's run over there and take a look. We can already see that it's fixed. All right, so now both the pipes are receiving light. Okay, so info lighting, great little tool. It'll fix, and you can even fix it to do minor adjustments. If you've got an object that is too dark or too light, you can create an info lighting in a different part of the map to sort of tame the lighting in areas where you feel like an object might be too bright or too dark. We can adjust it with an info lighting. So for today, I want you to create just a quick little sample. I want to see one black object and one lit object, just the way I did with the pipes there. So I want two identical objects, you know, stick them through a wall or something like that, so that so they lose their lighting. And then I want you to do a lighting correction with an info lighting entity on one of them, and show me that you know how to do it. So one of them would be dark and one would be light based on the lighting correction. But I want you to set it up really similar to what I have here, because I want to be able to see that you have one that's bad and one that's good, and you've fixed the good one using an info light. All right? And you can submit a screenshot to me just like this, except obviously in yours, one of them would be broken. All right? Rest of the period, work on your map. On Friday, we're going to be turning in these maps. I know they're not done, but you know, I want to see 2 months worth of work on them. We've been working on these maps for a couple months, so I should see some good progress on them. All right, that's it for today.